Hello, sorry, parents. I am just going to real briefly try to give you the basics of a tool that I use in class and plan on using again this year. It's something called PearDeck. It's an extension for Google Slides. So basically, when we go over a lesson in class, the students can follow along either on their tablet in class, or if they're out, there's a way that they can do it as a self-paced lesson. So I just wanted to try to do this really quickly. Basically, this is what would be on the screen that the students would see. I would project this up, and then they would go and log on. They would go to joinpd.com, enter in this code, which is unique to every single lesson that we'll do. And the first thing that they'll see is this, and they can skip it or say, oh, I'm doing okay. And now we're waiting on the presentation. So when I hit start class, as I go through this, and we talk about opposing the taxes, Patrick Henry, their screen will mimic mine. Now, where it gets interesting and why I like it is I can then ask questions on here that the students then would answer here. And who did the colonists feel had the only power to impose taxes on them? Their four choices are here. This is the correct answer. And this is for them. And we go over it before they save it. So I make sure everybody has the correct answer, but we'll talk about it. Nobody else can see their response. So we may go through a couple other things. We talk about the Stamp Act, Congress. Anyway, so this is what it would look like. The thing that I like is when I end the session, when I get to the end and hit end session, which I can't do here quickly enough, so I won't do it, it will say, do you want to publish takeaways? Takeaways are your students' notes, what they did during that lesson. So this is what they would give, and I'd give them a link, and it'd be unique to each one of them. So the first part here is a summary where once they get this takeaway, and I really encourage the students to do this, and I'll admittedly most of them do not, is to just go back and think about the lesson and jot down anything that comes to mind. So this student wrote Patrick Henry, because he was on the tablet, give me liberty or give me death. Same guy. He's wanting to know, is that the same guy? This student wrote down, it wasn't the idea of paying taxes that ticked off the colonists as much as not having a say in creating the taxes. And then he jotted down a note about Sam Adams, called him a troublemaker, very vocal about what to do. And then they go through, they have each one of the slides, and they also have the questions. So who did the colonists feel had the only power to impose taxes on them? You chose colonists elected representatives. That's what the answer is, because we make sure that the students all have the same and correct answer. And they can then use this when they go to study or they want to review. So here's a question here. You chose true. What were other choices? Again, I'll make sure they all have the correct answer, but it's a good way just to review the lesson. So that's just a short introduction into PearDeck. I'll also put a link on my Google Sites page that I will be sending to you, and that should give you more information. Anyway, try to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. Please reach out to me at cgorlitz@qcsd.org if you have any questions. Thanks. Looking forward to a great year.